It can only be God. Amen. You guys are looking beautiful this morning. Good morning, church. So how are you doing today? Hallelujah. God will change your story. I said God will change your story. And you end up being a candidate of heaven. Because you know what? Being a candidate of heaven is the most important thing that can happen to anybody. Christianity is not just having money. It's beyond that. I am not against prosperity preachers. But me, I don't preach prosperity. Yet people prosper. You know why? Because the Bible says, seek first, is for Christians. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And every other thing shall be added unto it. Why people are not being blessed is because our heart is polluted. Our heart is polluted. We no longer love each other. If we be sincere to ourselves, there are some persons here, they didn't even talk to their wife this morning before they came to church. Some persons fought in their houses this morning before they came to church. Some persons are in church here, they don't even talk to each other. You find it very difficult to forgive people because you feel they have hurt you. When they ask you to forgive him, you say, over my dead body. Why would I forgive him? He killed my child. He stole my money. He sacked me from work. Do you know God can make them sack you? I lost my job, 1995. And I cried till morning. Because all my life, I wasn't thinking of myself. I was thinking of my family, most especially my mother. Because then I felt the way my dad maltreated her is very wrong. I was very, very upset. So I have to drop out of school. And I made up my mind. I said, I just have to survive. And I became a trailer conductor. And I was in Lagos for 9 years. 9 good years. I was in Lagos. No house. I was sleeping anywhere it's dark. My then sponge and my soap are always in my pocket. You think I'm having money. I won 1 shirt, 1 trouser for over 5 years. I know you'll be surprised. Then I just have 1 short knicker, red in color, and 1 black jeans, and 1, how do they call it, long sleeve. How do I sleep? In the night, I will remove the trouser and I will wash it, maybe after 1 week or so. And I will sleep with the knicker, with that shirt. Mosquitoes in Lagos are worse than mosquitoes in Onitsha. If you've lived in Lagos before, where I live, it's very close to Ajegule. They call that area Begasuya. I was living in 1 motor park called Jakonde Park for 9 years. In these 9 years, the best bed I've slept is bench. Sometimes I'll just go to a night restaurant. There's a woman called Mama Imbise, Wine Imbise. That's the name they call her, Wine Imbise. I will go to her shop. I will sit there till morning. Sometimes she closes by 5. And I will leave there by 5. I won't sleep the following day. I was like that for years, 9 years. Now that I became a trailer driver, I was sacked before getting my own truck. I was crying. And I came back home. I became so frustrated. And I have to start from beginning again. Life without Christ is crisis. Then my father was an idol worshiper. Then one of my cousins came from London and he was like, you are my son, you can't be like this. I'll take you to London. I said, I don't want to travel. That all I need is a truck. If I have a truck, I will make it in life. All I just need is a truck. And he said, wow, how much is this truck? I told him. He said, okay, I'm going to buy the truck for you. And I'm just telling you my testimony. He said, I'm going to buy a truck for you, but you will pay me. You'll be working for me. I was very happy. If my brother who lives in London buy me a truck, then it's like I'm a truck owner. So it's like my dream has come to pass. You know, he bought the truck. I started working. First week, the truck knocked engine. We managed to fix it. Third week, I traveled to Lagos I picked some 22 tons of bottles from Lagos to Owerri, Coca-Cola. Satan is a bastard. If you don't understand the mystery of the kingdom of darkness, you will not succeed as a man. I was coming from Lagos. I slept in Benin. The following morning, I was to move from Benin straight to Owerri. Getting to my village where I came from, Ologbo. You know, we from Ikaye, Ologbo. You know, the boundary between Delta and Benin is part of my village. It's called Ologbo by the waterside. There was no problem. There was no sign. There was nothing. Getting to Ologbo, all I had was and the next in fear. The truck off. Then I managed to park the truck properly. I have mechanical experience. I went through under, I checked, and I found out that the engine has knocked again. In my village. Do you know what that means? Now we did one. In my village. Hear this. I now park. But because the place was kind of hilly, I couldn't park properly. I put C caution and I came to Saple to look for a solution. That same night, a car coming from Benin. The driver was in a high speed and he ended up under the truck. So when I went there to sleep in the night, I saw the accident. I said, no. I came back, I left it, I abandoned the truck. Finally, we went to, the people that had the truck, the car, I knew them, and, they didn't want to push charges, and the matter just died off like that. The money I was paid to take that goods to Owerri, I have to look for another truck. I have to pay forklift. So I spend more than the money they paid me. I struggled to fix the truck again. And my dad said, no. They need to serve Ogu. Now because they never serve Ogu for the truck. Now make her they worry. You know the hear word. You want to follow your mother. Church. What the church they do? Then I don't even go to church. Then he was mocking my mom. Then I allow, because even me, I was tired. So I need to do what? To allow. So I allow. The dog, and they did all they would do. In the morning, truck was okay. I came, and I was feeling heat inside the truck. How come everywhere is hot? But I didn't start this truck yesterday. As I raised the bonnet, I touched the engine. Behold, hey God, the engine was hot. I didn't start the truck. How come? I went to tell my dad, and he said, the windshield, they worry this motor there too many. And they did some concussion again. And they put in the truck. I traveled to Port Harcourt. No, to Ugele, Better Glass. Pick some bottle to Port Harcourt. You see, it was when I became pastor, I understand all these things. I never knew something was wrong. Even when they were telling me, I didn't believe them. I just felt it was mechanical issue. I was too poor to the Coca-Cola where I would offload the load. There was a pothole, 2 poles to the company, potholes. And when I got there, normally as a trailer driver, you take it easy so the goods didn't fall off. Immediately, I was out of the pothole. I realized 2 pallets of the bottle fell down. Bah. 1 pallet is more than the money I was paid. And I lost 2 pallets. God. So there's no way they will allow me go. I know that. So I refused to enter the company. I parked outside and I told them that my truck has problem. They had to bring their forklift outside to unload the truck because they need the bottles. And when that is done, I took off. I didn't even wait for them to sign my way bill. The man who owns the truck knew how to go and sort his problem. I know you will fight me, but they will not seize my truck. I went to Better Glass to carry salt in one company called Daikon Salt. I offload in Onitsha. I now have free money. That was my first television, colored television I bought. Small TV, no more than 12 inches or so. I was very happy. Color TV is more than a car to me. Brand new in Onitsha. I put it behind me in the truck. Getting to Agbo Junction, between me and you, I didn't know what happened. I just hear, hey, hey, hey. So I stopped. When I came down, I saw Okada man under the truck. I've already climbed him. I was scared for them not to kill me, so I ran. I left. Even when I was running, it was my television I was taking. Hey, my new TV. I'm for carrying the TV run. No. Hey, God. So I became so confused and worried. That was how I made up my mind that this trailer thing, it is better I just let it go. So God sacked me there again. Now there are many of you who have not yet been in the track of life. Many of you now are doing the wrong thing and you believe it's the right thing. When many people were young, they asked education and money. Many people would say education. If they ask anybody now, money and education, which one do you choose? Oh, the old church. Many people are doing the wrong job. Many people are in the wrong track. God will take you to your right track. In the name of Jesus Christ. Also, many are in the wrong marriages. Your papa is a native doctor, your mama is a native doctor. You go marry another native doctor, picking, now you find peace. Like I keep telling you, my testimony alone is a preaching. Then in my house, when my father wants to do feast for all these demons, women don't cook the food. Women don't eat from it. different native doctors from different areas we call. Why I'm saying this, because many of you don't believe in the things or in the mysterious secrets of that kingdom. Many of you, when they say witches are fighting, say, I beg you, wish. I beg forget wish. Forget all those juju know they work. I beg forget. Who told you? You are scared, but when you are driving or you are walking and you saw some sacrifice, you give chance. Something happened in my house that sometimes this memory do come. I don't want to call the name, but I know somebody had problem with somebody very close to me. And jokingly, the person came close to me and said, this person, he go know me. He go die this night. Behold, the following morning, I was one that went to tell him, he don't die. I said, sure, you did surprise. I tell you yesterday, say, go die now. I sit up. That person, I begin give a chance. He told me in the evening, the person died that night. Not by gun, no. Person died. He had an accident and died in the night. Not that they went to press him. So if you want to be a Christian, please be a good one. Some of you did not go to school. It's not that God does not want you to go. It is powers manipulating you. I'm telling you this. You know the problem we are having now? Pastors don't talk about power because what? Motivational speakers have taken over altars. They are motivational speakers and they are pastors. Motivational speakers are people who don't talk like this. Jesus talked like this. He teach people about kingdom of darkness. He displayed power. But now a pastor will preach from beginning of service to the end of service, no miracle. Jesus will not do that. Something must happen. Pastors are even scared when they hear somebody don't die, you rush him to hospital. And when they talk, they will justify it. They are quick to justify. How do I mean? They'll tell even the drugs is created by God. Satan is created by who? So because drugs are created by God, Satan also is created by God. I leave Satan to deal with you now. Have you ever seen anybody that is sick and they brought to Jesus and Jesus just allow him to be? Jesus is a man of faith. He's a man of faith. He lived by faith. And all the people with faith around Jesus, they all benefited from him. Let me give just 2 examples. There's a man with epilepsy, which is paralysis. You can call it stroke. With both body, every 2 hands, legs, everything was dead. The brothers went to where Jesus was preaching. Because the house was small, there was no access to the house. Do you know what they did? They went to climb ladder. They opened the rooftop and pushed their brother to the floor. And when Jesus saw him, he said, pick your bed and go. Take your bed and go. Your sins have been forgiven. Why would Jesus forgive the sin? Because he saw faith. Because what Jesus saw, his faith. Amen. Jesus saw his faith. There's a woman with an issue of blood. How many years? 12 years. If it was to be this time, the person would have died long ago. Menstruation for 12 years. That is what the issue of blood is. 12 years menstruation. Some women have 6 days, they are complaining. Imagine from normal menstruation to 2 months, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, is to tell you the woman suffered without even man for 12 years. All physicians failed. Physicians means doctor. All failed. You think doctors started now? Even the doctors you have in now, they treat you with what they don't know. Doctors then, they are the one mixing the tablet and everything for you. For you to be a doctor then, you have to be the one doing everything yourself. Not in a pharmacy we produce for doctor to give. The doctors, they are even giving you something they are not the one that produce it. And that's why you can drink fake drugs these days. What happened? Everything failed. Jesus did not see her. Jesus was not afraid of people killing him. It was disciples that were protecting him so they would not mob him. They can tear his... Some persons will just want to tear his shirt. I get Jesus' shirt from my house. Now pieces of Jesus' cloth. I go keep them. If 10,000 people share your cloth, will you have any? But faith pushed the woman. She just touched the head. It's just the side of his garment. Something came out. And what happened? The woman was made whole. A boy was possessed and they call him a madman. Madman. They call him what? A madman. They went to bind him in a rock outskirts of the city. And they forget about him. Sometimes the man will use stones to cut the chains, hit the chains cut, tear his skin with stones. Sharp stone, he will use it to cut himself. But one day Jesus came to that city. And at the entrance of the city, Jesus saw him. He ran to Jesus. Because I believe he's fighting people. You know, mad people do fight people. But when the demons saw Jesus, they bow. They beg to leave. Demons beg Jesus. Say, why pastor they follow demon, they talk? Why pastor they follow demon, they talk? God don't follow Satan talk. Not be demon, they talk now. Jesus, they talk to them. There's a time where they say the sons of God were coming for meeting with God in heaven. And the Bible recorded that Satan came among them. God asked Satan, where are you going to? He said, through and fro, looking for who to devour. Is it not two-way conversation? Motivational speakers, when they see what you are doing, they can't do it. They give it name. You don't go by power. If there is a way they say power to heal, go and buy. Go and buy. See, they are selling power. There's a difference between magic and miracle. Amen. But because motivational speakers has taken over church, the only thing people want to hear now. Do you know there are things I will say? All of you will jump up and shout hallelujah. There are things I will say, the amen will go low. If I shout today and I said, before the end of this month, hey, if I be a man of God, 10 million in your account. Motivational speaker. This is things you want to hear. Nobody wants to work, but people want money. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants to work, but people want money. Jesus said, as my Father work. So, when Jesus was doing carpentry, you think Jesus didn't know he was Son of God? Answer me. Eh? You think he cannot make his family rich? Eh? God allowed him to be born in a goat house. You think God cannot make them give birth to him in a king palace? God can use your wisdom is foolishness unto God. Look at the history of Moses. Kill all firstborn. Nowhere. Anywhere they see firstborn, they will kill. In fact, any male that is born, certain age, 2 or 3, they will kill. Do you know what God did? He took Moses to Pharaoh's house. Not be you they find picky where you want key. He there with you now, kill him. He was eating in the house of his enemy. The man that wants to kill him. They became their house. But he was outside looking for the child. Just imagine how Pharaoh would be regretting. If I know, I forgo my sister's house. But maybe the Lord then did not allow them to. God is the mathematician. He said, he that sitteth in the heavenly place shall laugh over the foolishness of Satan. The problem you have, should I tell you your problem? Atuno. Amen. Whenever I raise a prayer point here, you people will joke with it. Anytime I say pray, pray. If you like your marriage is tomorrow, and you hear me raising prayer point, power that said my marriage will not hold. Pray. Pray. I must have seen something for me to have said such a thing. Satan have a way to deceive and to scatter things that are to come. Don't feel it because everything is okay then. See, I've seen a woman. Her marriage is a week. And her friend that she invited came to town. And she escorted the friend to market to guess what the friend will wear. A gown that will size her. And quarrel broke out with the person that is selling. Instead of them to just walk out, she was now fighting for the friend because she feel she's from town and her friend is stranger. And the woman, children came and saw them insulting their mother. They started beating them. Now, they started fighting. This friend now pushed the woman, and the woman used her head to hit the gates of the shop. And something pierced into the woman's head. And the woman fall. They rushed her to hospital. She died. Both the friend and the one that is getting married, straight to cell. Now prison solve the problem, not be marriage again. Satan is very smart. And that's why God said we should be as wise as serpent. What is God referring to? Is it snake or Satan? We feel we know too much. Things are not working well. You are seeing it. You don't want to change. It is good to save money. But I'm telling you, if you don't work and you want God to bless you, you are just fooling yourself. You don't want to work, but you want God to bless you. You are fooling yourself. Satan can do that. And you know it will not last. Satan can do that. Satan can give you money. But you know what that means. He will give you cap. What will he take? He will take your head. So both the cap and the head belongs to him at the end. Amen. So Jesus walked by faith. He talks about faith. He told his disciples, ye of little faith. He teaches about faith. So what will help us is faith. And the Bible says faith without work is what? Are you hearing it?
So even if you have faith without work, is dead.